Hi, everyone. This is your host, Tommi V of Stay a While podcast. And thank you so much for joining me at the table for another conversation with today's guest, Jade Strawberry, Chief of Staff at RCX Sports. She could not be more elated about flag football becoming an Olympic sport, making its debut, y'all, in the 2028 Olympic Games in Los Angeles, California. Jade oversees NFL Flag Females in Flag initiative, creating a pipeline of girls at the youth, high school, and collegiate levels. Let's hear from Jade in her words. Hi, everyone. This is your hostess with the mostest, Tommi V, and I am at the Stay a While table with Jade Strawberry. Jade is the Chief of Staff at RCX Sports. Jade, welcome to the table.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I am glad to have you here. We are in a moment in history where flag football has become a sport that is going to be played in LA28, and everyone is elated at this information. It gives great benefit to the world of football, especially to women and girls in football. And I'm not taking away from all the participants that are going to be able to represent their country. But what we do know is that now, as a result of this, there are girls and women all across the globe who love to play football, whether that is tackle football or flag football. And now they are going to have the opportunity to do it on the world stage. So will you share with us what RCX does and how you are here making a contribution to this pipeline that now leads to the Olympics?
Yeah, so exciting news that just came out yesterday. We are RCX Sports. Everyone is stoked to see flag football will be added to LA28. RCX Sports is a premier youth sports business, and we work with all the pro sports leagues, NFL, NBA, MLS, MLB, NHL, some governing bodies as well. And we operate tournaments, events, clinics, camps, combines, you name it, on behalf of our partners. So we are the sole operator of NFL Flag.
Well, that's a huge task. Now, is it international or is it here in the United States?
So mainly in the US, we are expanding internationally, which is awesome, especially with this Olympic news that just broke out yesterday. But currently, right now, NFL Flag has 700,000 participants playing the sport of flag football at the youth level.
Wow.
And that's in the United States. So that'll continue to grow as we continue to expand our footprint internationally as well.
So when you think about the pipeline and initially, the goal and the objective, especially with young people, is you want them to be active, you want them to be engaged. And sports, as you know, being a former collegiate athlete, volleyball athlete, you know that the life skills that you develop in sports, it transcends the sports. It teaches you life and a lot of other wonderful attributes. So you're doing that at the youth level, and when you're getting kids engaged in sports, you're lending to developing them as human beings as well. Now that you have this component of there is beyond the moment of the youth activity, if you continue to work hard, there is now this possibility of you participating in the Olympics. How does that translate into your camps now at the youth level?
I think it'll help with participation. I mean, think about the kids that are going to come out to a camp, a clinic, or a tournament, any type of event to play NFL flag. And now they can look and see I have Olympic aspirations. I can play this sport in the Olympics if I continue all the way through on the pipeline. NFL flag is, starts as young as 4 to 5 years old and goes up all the way to 17U girls. So there's definitely that pipeline, especially for high school, college. We'll touch on that too. And then now they can look and say, hey, I have Olympic aspirations. I can play flag football in the
Hmm.
Olympics. It's pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, flag football was actually the very first sport that my daughter Desiree played when she was younger. When we lived in Florida, she played for the Buccaneers, and she was a wide receiver on her flag football team. Her nickname was Crazy Legs. So we always talk about that. And even before this moment, it had such an impact on her. She has her little card and that she shares and she pulls out and we get a good laugh at it. But now you're looking at what has happened and what this means. There's so many women that I've had an opportunity to come in contact with that play tackle football, that play flag football, where at one point in time this was just a dream. And now it is reality. And I know that youth sports and youth flag football is only one component of what you do. You also work hard to get flag football as a sanctioned sport in high school. Can you talk to us about that and where is the progress and what are some other ways that you're looking to grow that?
Yeah, and it's cool that your daughter played just in Florida. Being Florida was one of the first states that sanctioned flag football at the high school level, so they have tens of thousands of girls playing in Florida right now at the high school level. So we have a goal to sanction all 50. Hopefully one day we'll get there. Right now, there is 8 states that are sanctioned. Alabama was the latest. They're starting the sanctioning in 2024, but announced it this year. And California, New York, Arizona were the last 3 that were the big ones. So even though there's only 8 that are sanctioned, there's probably maybe 20 to 30 that are just piloting or, have run up and running programs that are interested in sanctioning or just looking to hit that threshold of what it takes in that state to sanction. So there's been quite the movement at the high school level with the sport sanctioning. And with this announcement of the Olympics, I only imagine that movement will continue to grow.
Yeah, I've been watching and just kind of keeping my ear to the ground of the news and how it's showing up in different places on social media. I saw so many young women who were so excited about what this means for them and just the posts that they were making. And then it was like all of a sudden, not that they needed permission, but all of a sudden there was just this flood of imagery and videos of them currently playing flag football. And it just was one of those things where, for people who really are vested in the sport of football and love to play the game, that this meant a great deal to them, probably more than someone like myself who does not play, that it means to them.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, we even in the NFL flag pipeline, we had to when we took over NFL flag in 2019, officially in 2020, we extended the age divisions for the females specifically because, a lot of girls are maybe a little nervous to play on a co-ed team that's mostly boys playing. So we opened some different age divisions and we've only seen it.
Mm-hmm. I had a conversation. Deanna Flores was on the podcast, and she talked about when she was a little girl and she was playing flag football, and she was the only girl on the team. And she said she knew that she needed to go out there and prove herself. And so when she started making plays and the boys recognized like, oh, wait a minute, she can play, that immediately they respected her and there wasn't a difference, that because she was a contributing team member, that co-ed piece, while it still existed and there were, aspects of it that she knew signaled that she was a girl, because she played the way that she played, that it automatically like created this sense of one team in that moment.
And she's been an awesome global ambassador for the sport. So has opened, and even just that story that you just shared with me has probably opened so many doors for girls that were, like I said, maybe a little nervous to play on that co-ed team. Just with seeing her face and how awesome of an ambassador she's been, I can't imagine how many doors she's opened.
So we did got the youth level, we have the high school level. Let's talk about the collegiate level. Where are we at there in terms of getting the sport into colleges and universities?
So once we looked at the sanctioning of the high school level, we were like, well, these girls, need a place to play, like to continue on their careers. So we looked at colleges, and the first college association that raised their hand to do it was the NAIA. And now they've grown to, I think, about 20, 25 universities, schools that have the sport are offering flag football. So it's actually at all three, starting in 2024, it will be at all three levels. So it's at NAIA, has 20 to 25. Junior colleges offer, if there's a handful of schools that offer it. And then also we had Atlantic East, which was our first NCAA conference to offer the sport, which is awesome. These girls can earn scholarships to play flag football at the collegiate level.
And that's big, knowing, there are other sports in play where girls can get resources and scholarships to go to school. An additional one just makes it that much more sweeter, and it opens the door and creates opportunity. I hear Troy Vincent say football is for all, and that what flag football does is it gives access to people all over. You could be in the city, you could be in a rural area. If you have access to the flags, a ball, and some ground, a field you can run on, you can play this sport. And so it opens opportunity for kids to not only dream about, hey, I want to play sports and I want to create a better life for myself and I want to go to college, but hey, I need some money. Like you can't get to college without the resources.
Right.
Now
Right.
you have this opportunity where now resources are being opened up in more areas where you can go to school and get that done. As a former collegiate athlete yourself, when you think about another opportunity, how does that make you feel?
It's awesome. I mean, it's amazing to see. And just bringing it back to myself for a second, I did play volleyball in college. I had a full ride, and I I had the best experience. I had the best 4 years there. I just to watch these girls go from youth to high school to now they can participate and earn scholarships in college. It's an incredible thing to see. And just our mission statement at RCX is about accessibility, which is a word you just hit on, and inclusivity, and just keeping things affordable. So, starting in the youth and making sure they have that access at a young age, and then going all the way through college it's great.
Jade, you said that your 4 years in college, like it was the best, and what that best is, only you know that. But can you add some color to that? Because what I want to do is sometimes when people don't have an experience, there's fear to think about something that feels so big in their mind. So when you talk about your time in college as a collegiate athlete and it being the best, what does that mean?
So it was definitely challenging. Playing a sport in college is not easy, but it's rewarding. I got a great education at the University of Connecticut, which is part of it being the best is, my education, and then the community that I had with my team. The girls that I played on the team with, those are still some of my best friends to this day. I didn't know anyone, obviously, going to college. I went away for school. It was a new thing, and I met some of the girls that like I said, some of my best friends to this day. So it was just a great experience, and for girls in the flag space to be able to experience that same thing, offering scholarships and getting to play in college, like I'm excited for these girls.
Yeah, so sports is providing the opportunity for doors to open It's creating relationships. What are some of the life skills? People often talk about teamwork and resiliency. What are some other characteristics that young people are able to develop that you believe will serve them well as adults?
I think leadership is a big one, and that I learned a lot of leadership in college, just through playing sports, of course, as well. And I don't think you always have to be the loudest leader, or, there's different types of leaders. So I think even taking it to the next level of the leadership, there's different types of leaders within leadership. So I think that was also a big one, and just communication, of course. And you really, it shows you're learning how to be an adult, a young adult, I would say. Um, just time management, all of those types of different things that you are balancing, because you're maybe not necessarily at home with your parents who were maybe taking on some of those things for you.
Now, with the RCX Sports, you do youth camps, and so for um, NFL flag, you have camps around the United States. When you're at those camps, assuming that you go to the camps, when you're at the camps and you are experiencing the interaction with the participants and you see them on that field, share with us a story or two about a moment where you knew this is the work that I have to do.
I would say so. We, as a part of the Females in Flag Initiative, we operate the women's flag finals, their championships in the collegiate space, and we run a high school showcase alongside that championship, because all those college coaches are already there. So it's an opportunity for these high schoolers to get recruited. And I got the opportunity, it was alongside the Atlanta Falcons. I got the opportunity to speak to the high school girls before. And I just remember, like, the things I was telling them is just, don't take this for granted. Like, this is an awesome opportunity, and work hard. Hard work will get you many places in life. And it was just cool to see these girls sit in and absorb what I'm saying and then get out on the field and work hard. So it was an awesome opportunity to be in front of high school aged girls. I think freshmen, maybe eighth grade, we might allow some eighth graders, eighth grade to seniors. And there's seniors out there who are still trying to get recruited, and they have the opportunity right in front of the college coaches that are all there for those flag championships.
Mm-hmm. That's good stuff. So when the news came out in regards to, okay, the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, has green lighted flag football for the LA28 Olympics, what emotion flooded you?
So many different ones. I mean, excitement is probably the biggest. I was so excited. That's probably the biggest emotion that flooded me, was just excitement, and just thinking about, man, there could be girls that are currently playing or currently playing, have played an NFL flag, have playing for their high school team. Now played in college or will play in college, and they can go play in the Olympics. How awesome is that? It's so exciting to see.
Mm-hmm. I will. So I actually shed a tear, and I did because of the conversations I've had with some of the women who currently play, and their stories of the hard work, the getting up before they go to work to train, going to work, and then after they go to work, going to practice, not having, nice, lush green fields to practice on, but they did it anyway. Like all these different things, and just knowing that they didn't throw in the towel, they continued to bet on themselves because this was that important to them. And so in this moment, when I heard the news, I felt like, man, they didn't give up. And there's so many times in life you want to throw in the towel because you feel defeated and deflated because you don't see the results you want in that moment. But it's a constant reminder, if you just keep going and you just keep working hard, like you tell the young ladies that you mentioned at the NFL flag camp, it will pay off. And this was that moment where the dream that these women have been dreaming, it now comes to life for them. It is here, it's a reality, and I'm so proud of them, and I'm so just grateful that this opportunity is here in this moment of time.
And I hope, those women and just everyone who is involved in this process is soaking it in and feeling how rewarding this hard work and betting on yourself, like you said, has been, because this is a historic moment.
Mm-hmm. So now it does get a little tricky, not tricky, but here you all are running the NFL flag across the nation and moving to international. And so people are coming in, participating, especially, as you get older, people's expectations now are shifting. We were on the circuit for basketball, for tackle football, and at the youth level, when you're at those camps and parents are there bringing their kids and loading up the car, driving all over to rivals and all these different things, now that element is going to enter into this space of flag football. Are you ready?
I'm ready. We're ready. Everyone should be ready. This is exciting times. Like, let's get these kids access and a space to play flag football.
Absolutely. I am grateful for this opportunity to speak with you and to really put a face and a name to someone who is working diligently to continue to increase the participation of NFL flag football, especially in the area of girls and women. I'm one of them, and I have daughters, and I have granddaughters, and this type of work and inclusivity, creating space where football is for all, it means a great deal to me. So thank you for your contribution, and thank you for the work that you are doing at RCX Sports and all sports, quite frankly, because it really does make a difference in young people's lives.
Yes, no, thank you for having me. I was super excited to be on your podcast, and we will continue to do this work and make sure all kids have the access to play sports.
Absolutely. So before I let you go, is there anything that we have not talked about that you would like to share with our listening community?
I think just, continue. The theme of this conversation was hard work, and I think that can be on and off the court or the field, however you want to put it. So I think continue to work hard, bet on yourself, and life will be rewarding.
Absolutely. So Jay, will you share with everyone if they want to participate in any of the NFL flag camps going on around the nation, how can they access that information?
Yeah, so it'd be best to go to nflflag.com and you can find a league near you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Jade, at the Stay a While podcast table. And you are welcome to come and join me anytime.
Thank you. I will take you up on that.